bear with me, gang. We're just going to share the broadcast out and then we'll get going. Okay, I think we're back. Oh, all right. In case you're wondering why nothing's happening, it's because I'm looking at the board and also going to wait for a few minutes and let a couple of people join. So we're going to start over on the left-hand side of the board. I've got a couple of things I've got to roll for first, but rather than repeating myself several times, I will instead just wait a few minutes until we get 3 or 4 folks. So if you want to, as you're watching this, if you want to share this, if it's still live, then by all means go ahead. Kind of speeds things up a little bit. All right. It'd be cool after I finish this live broadcast that I could actually edit out this first 1.5 minutes or so before we got started, so that you don't have 1.5 minutes of dead time and me talking to myself all the time. And I'm going to try and not have a continual monologue going on, because I'm finding it with a new game it's going to be hard. If I was playing something else, then perhaps we could do that, but that's not going to be the case. All right, so I will go ahead and get going. And let's see, just to recap, we are playing this game, pulling it out of the box, dumping the counters out. You watched it get set up. Now I went off, I read the rules, I made a 1-page summary of the rules. Welcome, welcome, whoever's there. Can't see who is there, so if you want to pop your name in, in the text message. There's a chat box somewhere, and just say hi. So I feel like I know who I'm talking to there. I'm just giving a recap of what we've done so far, and we'll kind of go at it from there. So I do have, what I was saying is I have a 1-page rule summary here that I crammed together the last hour or so. And we're doing live play now of the of the game. So, first thing I need to do is generate a set of activity points for the Soviets. Soviets go first. So over here we have the activity table, and I have to use a certain number of C3I points to generate my activity points. Well, sounds pretty fair and reasonable, doesn't it? So here we go. Now I've got the abbreviated sequence of play here, and that's what we're going to use to guide us through our gameplay. I'll move these charts over here out of the way. I'm going to move my drink so I don't spill it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we don't do much of this administrative stuff in the very first turn. We're going to drill in on the first, first Schwerpunkt segment, and that means we're going to move the front markers. So I've got to roll for the front markers first, and then we'll roll for the C3I points. I don't even know where the chart for this for the Soviet headquarters are. Let's see. I rolled an 11, so an 11 is going to be pretty good. I'll just find the table real quick. Soviet front, 10 to 12 means we get to move 2 hexes. Wow, is that all? Wow, that sucks. Okay, 2 hexes. So the front markers are here. You can see one chap there and another chap just off to your right there. And excuse me. So what we're going to do is move them up because there's a 12 hex limit range for these fellas, and it looks like the prior owner cut these little strips out of the counter trees to help keep track of where that 12 hex limit is. And so we're going to move this guy up 2, and in fact I'm only going to move him up 1 to start with, just in case the Germans decide to be fairly aggressive. And over here on the right hand side I will move up 2, and I'm going to check the movement chart. And as you might recall, those that are tuning in, There's a terrain chart here somewhere. Here we go. Roads give us no movement bonus, so that's fine. So we're just going to move that guy 2 hexes. So he moved, and we'll just notate that guy moved. And the next thing we do, now we're going to get, we look at our share punked deal here. We do admin movement. There is no admin movement in the first turn. We're going to declare the order of whether we're going to fight and move or move and fight. And we, as the Soviet player, going first, where is my little counter that tells me what I'm going to do? We're going to move and fight first. And I think I want to do that tactically here because on the left-hand side of the map, I have the potential to begin trying to encircle some of these units and weakening them when it comes to combat. So that's the first reason. Same would go into the middle of the map. And then over on the southwestern front, I'm already in contact here. So yeah, that is kind of problematic. I probably would like to attack them straight away. There are multiple phases in these game turns. So we're going to be okay. We'll be able to fight them shortly, and we'll at least be able to bring up some reinforcements here. So, okay. So we're going to move and then fight. I'm going to put that on the little turn track here. There's a little turn track right there, see? And just for those that are just joining, we read the rules about an hour ago. We made a one-page summary. We set the game up a couple of hours ago. And now we're going to roll some dice and see what happens next. I roll an 8 for C3I. I think I'm supposed to actually... Oh no, that's right. Spend C3I, then roll 2 dice. Okay, so I'm supposed to say what I'm going to... I was going to spend 2, I'd already thought about this. So spend 2 points. So there's a track over here. On your left here, see this track here? He's 5. I'm going to spend 2 points. And that leaves me 3 left for the turn. And I'm on the 2 table here. I roll an 8. That's going to give me 11 activity points. So what I'm going to do now is I have to split these activity points between the 2 headquarter formations. And there's 11, so you split them as equitably as you can. So I'm going to give 5 to these guys and 6 to these guys. So I'm just going to put them on the general track here. And then what we're going to do now is actually go through and move the specific units that we want to move. And then we'll do combat after that, okay? And I've got to pay an activity point for each unit that I'm going to move. So in the Vorens front, first thing we're going to do is go 1, 2, and that's 1 point. And I'll move the track, and then I'm going to try and create a concentric attack here in a second by doing 1 to here. And that's another, so that's 2 points down, and now I'm going to do 1 more move, and I'm going to go 1, 2. And by putting units on either side, I'm going to get a bonus when it comes to combat. Even though this may not be a smart attack, but we're going to get a feel for how this may work once we get into the game a little bit. All right, so I've moved 3 units, and I now have 3 points left, 3 activation points left in the Varens front. Please tell me it's Varens. It's VOR. I'm assuming that's what the abbreviation is. It doesn't have it on the abbreviations table, so I can't confirm that for you, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Feel free to say hi and drop a text note in so I know who I'm talking to if you would care to, or happily continue to watch and just be, ignore me. Now, the other unit that I might be interested in trying to attack here is this formation here. And I may not end up with enough activation points to attack him in this activation if I do move everybody. So, but I'm going to move 1 up to here to start with to protect the HQ, and that leaves me now just with 2 points left. So I want to not get myself in a pickle later on. So let's do this. Let's move these two big guys up. This is a 25 factor unit. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he will go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. That's 2 more units. 1, 2. I now have 0 activation points left over there. See the VOR, right? Now over on the right-hand side of the map, on the southwestern front, there's our southwestern headquarters unit. And by the way, all these units had to be within 12 hexes of one of these HQs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically, this is a delineator there, and these guys clearly can go that way, and they've got coverage going this way. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're way out there, so it's not a big deal.
Hey, Blocky, do you know if you're going to work tomorrow?
And let me just close my door so that we can keep going. Yeah, hey there, how we doing? I've just got a couple of guys on the line I'm chatting to, okay? All right, let's keep going. So I'll try and explain some of the rules as we go along. Okay, where were we? Now over here I have 5 points that we can use for movement. And I want to try and press in on this hex here because I want to capture the bridge, right? And also this hex here. So I'm thinking 1, 2, let's see, it's going to probably cost an extra for that. Rough as, nope. And frozen, rough as 1. And the rivers are going to have, and streams will have no effect. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 to here. And you know what? If we powerhouse on this guy, maybe we can do this. I can stack that guy. Look. There, that's two units. We're going to move the track down 2. And I need to leave room for an attack, points for an attack. So maybe we'll leave that just like that. So that's all we'll do right there. Okay. Now, if we go back to our sequence of play, which we're following along because we only just recently read the rules. So we declared our combat or move phases in what order they'll be conducted. We've spent our C3. We've purchased the ones that we had available. Combat costs 3 points. I have 3 points left. Schwerpunkt phase in a minute for the Soviets after the Germans have moved, and we go through this cycle of spending points, moving into position, and then hopefully you leave enough points to have a combat. I have enough points to do a combat here. First thing we do is 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that one's not available in this turn. I'll show you what the shits look like. They look like this. And on the back of them, they have various capabilities. And this one says turns 6 through 17. So he's just going to go back in and we'll just pull another one. And hopefully that won't get tedious and have to pull multiple ones. But there we go. So there's 5. First thing we do. And then after that, we will now, the defender, if he has the higher TP rating and was motorized, which this dude indeed is, no he's not, he's infantry. If he was motorized in Izium here, he would have an opportunity to conduct a mobile defensive retreat and avoid combat. But he can't because he's an infantry unit, so he's just going to suck it up and take it like a big boy. And we're going to work out what our odds are. I better pay. And sorry, I just had a notification on my phone that my network connection was poor. So hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, let's see. We've got to work out the odds, right? So we've got 18, we've got 27, 32 to 6. That is going to not be enough for massive odds. It's only going to be 5 to 1. And this is what the combat table looks like. I'll show you that. And we're going to have a look at that in detail in a second. 5 to 1's actually not too bad, but if you roll low, that could be ugly. So now we have calculated odds, and it's 5 to 1. And you know what I'm going to do, just to keep track of things, because I'm talking while we're playing. Let's make a little note here that it's 5 to 1. And okay, we did the chits. Right, that's right. I get to pick 3. This is where it gets interesting, right? I get to pick 3 of these chits as the Soviet player. So let's flip them all over. And you know what? We'll do the guy. Yeah, we'll do the guy that has the. I'm playing solo here, so we'll do the guy that has the advantage first. I think that makes sense. I've got to pick 3 of these. Okay, Soviet hits halved on us. I don't think we want to use that. German motorized. We don't have any of those. That's not going to help. Wouldn't help to have that factored in. Plus or minus 5. What the hell does that mean? Ooh, that's good. So we'll use that. We'll use these 3. Yeah, that's going to be a total of. I wonder what the maximum is, if there's a maximum, because that's 6. That's going to be 8 DRM. That's going to hurt you. Okay, so there's 8. Now these poor old bastards, they only get to choose 1. And don't forget, this is Kharkov, right? So, or well, it's not Kharkov, I guess. It's, what do they call it? Oh, I forget the name of it now. It's not Operation Mars either. Doesn't matter. We'll think of it in a minute. It's 1943, and it's February. So what do we got here? General motor. Well, that's not going to help. It goes back in the bucket, and so I just got a plus or minus 2. So I can only use 1 of those anyway. So we'll use that guy. So now we're going to zoom in here, and we're going to have a look at this combat, and we're going to see what the hell happens next. And of course, what happens next is we roll dice. Now, the net difference. What did I say that was before? 8, right? There's 6, 8. So it's going to be 8 minus 2 for a net plus 6. That's how I'm working it out anyway. Okay, draw the chits. I wrote a little summary here. I'm just making sure I do this correctly. Assuming I can read my own roll. Oh, okay. So here's what happens. This is cool, and it's bad for the attacker actually. Here's the dice. We roll 12. When you roll a 2 or a 12, you end up with a random event. Now, where is the random events table? That would be here. And we just roll 2d6. So let's just roll these 2 that are already up here. And I rolled an 8. Nice and average. And an 8 says the non-facing player may move 1 friendly unit. German units belonging to the same formation count as 1. These units must begin their movement already stacked, move together, and end their movement in the same hex. Now, I believe this is an interrupt, and I believe this actually is going to interrupt this attack. That's my understanding. I can move 1 unit, and I can also move, so I could go here. So there's 2 into the woods. Nope, 1 into the woods. It's only 1, really? Okay, 1 into the woods, and we're going to cross the river, the frozen major river, which is still going to be 0. And what am I going to do? Am I going to go... I think I'm going to go here. Back into here. Because that's how I roll. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Because I rolled a 12 on a 5 to 1, and I get to add 6 to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'd be max odds. These guys would have to lose 3 steps if that was the case. So we need to set a rules to see. I remember reading something about the random events and how they're applied in this game. And I think it's an interrupt, and it interferes with the attack. I'm just not sure if it negates the attack result, because it seems like the attack result happened before we got a random event. Random events are put in here to kind of get rid of that God's eye view and historical hindsight's 2020 thing. I can't find the random events rule. Bear with me. Hang in there. Random events. Here we go. Okay. Generated by unmodified die rolls of 2 or 12. Snake eyes are boxcars, basically. After applying all... here we go. After applying all the combat results for that combat, including retreats after combat. So just go show how much I know. Okay, so now I can only lose... I can lose 2 steps in a retreat. Sorry. I can eat 2 steps. 1, 2. That will eat a... eat 2 of the 3 steps I need to lose. Third one, I'm going to have to bite it, and then it says I can move this unit based on the random event. Actually, it says move 1 friendly unit. How about that? Well, I might move this guy. Well, let's make sure I do this in the right order. Apply all combat results for that combat, including any retreats after combat and or advances. Okay, so I've got to wait. These guys are going to advance, and then mechanized, they get to advance too, so he will pop to here. This guy will pop to here, and this guy will pop into the hex. That makes sense? And then I can move a unit. Do I want to move a unit? I'd love to move this guy out of here. This is a mess in here. These are dead men. Pity you can't blow bridges here. You know what? Can I move from Zoc to Zoc? I forget. I think I can move 1 hex. Zoc to Zoc. Let me just check my little summary. Advance after combat in Zoc. No. Okay. Alright, so that's all I can do with that then. I am gonna move this guy down to here. 1. Let's mechanize. Mechanize's going to have to pay more. Let me just see the chart. Just covered up. No, it's only moved. Everything's 1 in frozen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move this to here. Okay. All right. That ends the first Soviet Schwerpunkt segment, as far as I know. Okay. So now we need to do the German Schwerpunkt segment. And I will declare my... Where'd that little unit go? Here we go. Move fight. I'm probably going to move. Yeah, I need to run away. So we're going to run away, basically. I'm going to do that. We're going to spend C3I points. I'm going to have to blow all my C3I points, 2 of them, to get enough units to be able to move. So let's roll 2 dice and see how many points we get. High is good. 8 is average. And 8 will get me 11 points. So I grab an activity marker for the Germans, whack it down on the 8 track. Over there. See that? Right there. And now we're going to move 8 units. Well, let's start over in the hotbed over here. And I think we'll... This goes back in the cup. These keep coming back. These tack chits. You just keep using them. Right. Well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of extra forces here at the moment, but I don't know what's coming on reinforcement-wise later on. But I might try and squeak this guy out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. That's 1 point that we've used. And you're going to have to bear with me because I want to check something on the zones of control and make sure that I can or cannot move from one ZOC to another. I think you've got to move out and then move in. Effects of ZOCs, come on. It must stop when it enters. It may have, beginning, may move out. Right, okay. So we can't scoot from hex to hex, so these guys are stuck in here. The only thing they're going to be able to do is attack out. That might be an interesting option. I think where was this? 4123, that's here. That might be an interesting option. Okay, I'm going to move this guy down to here. Cover that bridge. You know what? That's not worth losing a point for. Okay, let's go down and see what we can do with these guys. I'd like to scooch these guys back a little. Fall back on Kharkov, and these bridges would probably be a good idea. Let's do this. So it's only 2 movement points. Shoot. 2 and 2, so that's 2. I've got 5 left, and I have lots of expensive units over here that we need to make choices about. And we've got some crap over here that's going to die. Alright, these guys didn't conduct this attack last turn. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go mechanized is sure. Is that sure? It's 1. Forest is 2. Okay. Okay, forest. So that's 2, 3, 4 to here. 5, 6 to here. That's 1 unit we've moved, and now I need to get this guy out of dodge. 1, 2. I think I'll sit here. Oh, jeez, that's a big stack coming at me. Yep. Okay, I need to move 1 down for that guy. And then this 13, he needs to be somewhere safer, so I think we'll pop him back. Just 1 hex. No. This would be ideal, but it then leaves a gap here. You get a DRM for the woods. Well, I think given it's frozen, we might as well just move here. It's not going to help much. So that's 1. I've got 2 left. Crap. Okay, this guy can't get out. He can attack out. He can attack out. Okay. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to have enough points to attack out. Shoot. Okay. Just going to move this guy back to here. Spend a point. Didn't quite work out how I wanted it to. And I think we'll move this road bump into another location. Let's move him to here too. And that is the last point that he has to use. Okay. Well, that was uninspiring. And I can't attack out of here now on the right hand side because I have no points left. Are we sure that it cost me points to attack in a Schwerpunkt? So here's what's going to happen. Now the Soviets will get to roll for their Schwerpunkt, then the Germans will, and then there's a general segment. And the general segment allows both the Soviets and the Germans to move and fight. And it doesn't cost them activity points to fight. That's what's going to happen. So you've got this restricted type of movement that goes on, and then you get into kind of a general turn that would be more typical of a regular turn. Now the other thing that I could have done actually, instead of moving this guy 2 hexes, I think what I'm going to do is move this dude down here, and I'm going to move him up, and I will just, he's the part of the Das Reich, which is those guys up there. So I'm going to crank this dude up here. He is on a highway, and it's frozen, and it's a road, and it's making absolutely no difference. Okay, well, this is going to be a long, slow haul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really? Okay. All right, so now let's roll. So then we go back to the top of the cycle, and we're moving our front markers first. I've got to roll to see how far the front markers can go. I roll a 6. Where is that little table? I need this table somewhere where I can see it. 6 is 1 hex. That's awesome. They move up 1 hex. This guy moves up 1 hex. That's going to be a limiting factor, isn't it? Okay. And let's see. Now we declare move or fight. I think I'm going to fight, then move. And over here, I should have been going through the segment, right? So we just did the first German segment. We're now on to the second segment. I guess I put this here. Fight or move. And we're going to do fight first. And I'm going to roll for points for the C3I. I'm going to roll for C3I points. I've got to say how many I'm going to use first. So I'll re-roll. I'm going to use just 1. No, I'm going to use 2. Well, shit, I might as well use 3. And get a bunch of points so we can do multiple attacks. Here we go. And I roll same, 7. 3 points, that's going to give me 15 points for the good guys. So we'll just bang this up to 5 and stick a 110 out. Well, actually, you know what? That's not correct. What we do is I've got 15. I've got to put 7.5 for each formation. So they both get 7 and 1 gets 8. And we'll give the Vorens group 8. No, we'll do the other guys 8. And now, this is going to be challenging. So now we're out of C3I points, and we get more next turn. But next turn we get 6 if it's frozen, and 3 if it's muddy. The Germans only get 2. All right, so they're going to have to plan their attacks very carefully. Okay, so we're fighting first. I'm going to attack here. I've got the lowest of these attack ratings, and these guys are mechanized, so they could potentially refuse to fight. Are they able to retreat in this refuse to fight thing? Are they able to retreat through zones of control? I don't believe they can. That's one thing I'm going to have to look at, so bear with me for that. But so far you can see this is a pretty straightforward, that's the series rules, pretty straightforward system. We're not getting too caught up in bits and pieces. We're looking for refuse to fight, trying to pay attention. Must be in this here, combat, page 7. Combat refusal. Defending force consisting entirely motorized and holding attack superiority at defending player's choice may retreat 2 hexes if neither of the 2 retreating hexes are in an EZOC. So these guys are screwed. Okay. Just wanted to make sure we were doing that right and weren't cheating. So what do we got here? That's 14, 19 to 10. That's not 2 to 1. That is 3 to 2, and we're going to make a note of that. 3 to 2 here. and we're going to pull chits. These guys pull 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put that back in, and I dropped 1. And these guys get 2 chits, and they get to keep. Come on, they get to keep 1. And these guys have the advantage, so we'll pick them first. I think this is going to be a horrible attack for these guys. What do you think? Think they should have perhaps moved up some extra forces? Oh, that's awesome. Soviet combat strength halved. I love it. Okay, these are my choices. These are 4. I pick. Come on. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. I have very low chance of losing a step, so I'm gonna take that one out. And I'm going to use these 2, because I think it's the delta, right? I'm going to keep these 2. And this guy only gets to keep 1. So let's see what he has. A feint and intelligence. -1 hit and -1 German chit. Oh, so that's interesting. How do we do this? I think the tax superiority, is it 3 or is it the difference? Doggone it, I forget. I know what I've got written down here, but I'm not sure what I wrote down was correct. Yeah. I get to use 3. And the other guy gets to use 1. And if it's a draw, you use 2 each. Alright, so it's 3-2. These guys got 2. But, where'd I put those chits? Kevin. What the hell? Okay, can anybody see him on the board? What did I do with them? Are they stuck to my elbow? No. Here they are. Feint and intelligence. So the Germans, these guys are only get to use 1, and they're going to use the. Well, I tell you what. No, I'll do this. So we're going to just randomly draw one of these to see which one they. I'm just going to drop 1. Yeah, they'll lose that one. Okay, Soviet combat strength halved. Well, that could have been better. That's the one that goes out. So it goes back in the box. That goes in the box. And now it's just a -3 to the die roll. And we are in the open. There's no benefit there when we're attacking on the 3-2 table. I rolled a 7, -3 is 4 on the 3-2. 4. That's a 3-step loss for the Soviets. That's just brutal. Okay. Note to self. Attackers have to take all of the losses as step losses. They cannot retreat to eat losses. So that's 1. I'm just going to spread around. 2 and 3. That goes back in the bucket. These guys laugh. You know what I might do is keep that full strength and lose this guy in its entirety. And that way this stays at a strength of 6. So that's a 6 there now still. Okay. That was 3 points that we spent there for these guys. 1, 2, 3. And that's the only attack that we are eligible to run over in that section. So we're going to lose the rest of those points. Oh, actually, we'll get to move, so that's fine. We won't be doing anything. Now over here, I have to attack first here as well. And I think we're going to be a little more cautious. But, oh, I bumped him. Where was he? I can attack. No, I don't. I have 20. I have 35 there. 35 onto these wankers here. Let's see. To 10. So it's going to be 3-1. 3-1. And Soviets have attack superiority. They pull 5. I'm going to grab 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can only be used through turn 7 and 9, so I'll pull 1 more. 3, 4, 5. And this one, they're all correct. Okay. So I pulled this guy. He can only be used through turns 7 and 9. Okay, so there's 5 for them. We'll look at them in just a sec. Now, Germans pull 4, but they're only going to be able to use 1 because they have the lower 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a couple of good ones in here. Okay, now, I kind of like this tactical chip thing, and it's a little random element and chance over and above the die rolls. So the guy with the most advantage will go first. Oh, let's see. Extreme conditions. Vodka. Soviet and German get +1 hit. That's not nice. Feint. Minus, it's a Soviet hit. And then the NKVD. So let's see. I'm going to be able to use 3 of these, so I think we should take extreme conditions. I think we should take fanaticism and probably take this DRM, see if we can really chew these guys up a bit. So that's those 3. The rest go back in the bucket. And now I get to pick one of these. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Probing, hits halved. Ooh, Soviet combat, motorized combat strength halved. That would make that an 8. That'd be 16, 28. Yeah, and to make it a 2-to-1 attack. I think we take half hits. What do you think? What do you guys think? Take half hits? Don't care? Soul Engineers, and I can only do one of these. Hopefully you can still watch because the network keeps saying it's losing its connection, which means my kids are probably streaming online as well. Okay, 3-to-1, half hits. I think that means half hits for both sides. Let's check what the definition for that guy is. I think it's on the back here. What is it? What number is it? Number 9. Yeah, German and Soviet hits are halved, round fractions up. Okay, and the combat result is a 4. So that's good for the Germans, bad for the Soviets. I said I was 3-to-1, right? On a 4. Wow, that wasn't smart, Kevin. All right, well, that's 3 hits on the Soviets and nothing on the. Should have looked at the combat table first, and nothing on the Germans. So now the Soviets only lose 2. So I believe the first one has got to come off of the guy that supplied the rating. So there's 1, and I'll pop this guy for 1. And actually there would have been a DRM there as well, so it would have been a 6 because of the woods. And 6 is the same as, sorry, it would have been a 3. And that's still 3-0. Yeah. All right. Very interesting. Next time, look at the table. Okay. Network connection is... How is the network connection? Is everything coming through okay? Nope. No comment. Okay. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. All right. I need a drink of water. I wonder if I can adjust the quality of the video. Zoom back out a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that was combat. Now we're doing move. And I made an attack over there, so I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3. Now, do I want to do another attack? I don't think after that I do. So now we go to the move phase. Move phase, I'm going to keep pressing up here. 2. That's 1 point. And I need to get in. This is going to be hard to get forces into position. Let's see if we can try and encircle this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. That's 2 points moved. I got 1 left. I'll move this guy up to here. So we can attack this guy. We should have tried to isolate that guy last turn is what we should have done. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. Let's push up the guts. And that's all of the points for them. And now we've got Southwest has 5 left. So I can activate these guys. And in fact, I can activate those over there as well. They're in range. But that would be kind of cheesy. We will push up here. Let's move this. 1, 1, 2. And this guy, 1, 2. And that's 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And now here, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And that's 1 more, and then I'm going to just cover this bridge 1 more there. I'm not sure that's smart, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. Okay, so now we go to the second German Schwerpunkt. We roll points. Well, that's interesting. They have no points, so they're done. They don't get to activate. That goes in the big poop bucket. Okay, all right. That means that's finished. Then we go to the Soviet General Support phase, and that is where the same as Soviet Schwerpunkt segment, except the movement and combat does not require activity points, and units may either move or fight. Move or fight, but not both. Okay. Well, we're going to move. I'm going to move everybody this turn and continue to try and encircle forces, and we'll start over here on the left-hand side. And when I finish this full turn, then I'm going to probably call it quits, because this will be 50 minutes or an hour online. Okay. I'm going to push this dude up. Do I move the... I guess I got to move the HQ thingy, so let's roll for that. I rolled 11. He gets to move 2 hexes. He'll move up to here. This guy will move 1, 2 to here. He'll go 1, 2 to here. And these guys will go 1, 2, 1, 2. I should keep track of these. And this chap, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I might move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this guy's going to go 1, 2. I'm not allowed to look at what's under there. 3. And here we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he's got 4. 2, 3, 4. You know what, let's just stack him 4. Those guys are moved. We'll put this guy here. This guy here. Here. 1, 2. We'll get the concentric value there. Okay. Now over on... Oh. A lot of buffering, a grainy video feed. Other times it's clear. Okay. Alright, thanks, dude. How long did you stay online with Marco for? I need to look at what I've done with this unit here, because I might have put myself out of supply. I don't think so. Yeah, that's funny. Did you stay online very long after I got off? Before? With Marco? Were you on with Marco? You were on with Marco, right? I'm going to move this dude. One, two. Actually, I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move this guy down here. You know, I'm making this kind of thin here. 1, 2. 1, 2. I feel like I've made this too thin here now by pushing this unit down here. I may be a chicken shit and take that back and just keep this unit here. There's no combat this turn. Okay. Hey, Michael. Welcome. We're kind of just getting 3/4 of the way through the first turn. You can see here you go through these cycles where you choose to move or fight first, and then you either move and then fight, or fight then move. And you do that, each side does that a couple of times, and then we're now in the general phase where you choose to either move, where you can all move, everything can move. Whoa, everything can move. Ha. And go from there. All right, so that was the Soviets moved, and now I'm going to crank through the German movement, which is looking kind of iffy at the moment. I can't get these guys out on the left-hand side, and they're going to be out of supply. Now, do I have to check supply? I don't think we do. I think that happens, happens in the admin phase. So it's next turn we're going to do that. All right, now's the time to start moving these guys back. 1, 2. Belgrade is in trouble. 1, 2. Or I could attack out. Why don't we attack out? Let's do it. We're going to die anyway. Let's attack out with glory. And I'm going to move this guy that's all the way down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I don't know if I could put him into admin mode. I bet you I could. We'll see. We're going to get ourselves out of this friggin' mess here, too. Golly. Well, you know what? Over here, it's not going to matter because I can't attack this phase, but what I can do is situate myself to attack next phase if he survives that long. It's only going to be a 3-2 attack, and they already screwed that up once before. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to try and attack out and use my 3 tactical chits on that guy. All right, let's see here. I can certainly see how it would be easy to counterattack here. This is a weak unit. Look at that sucker. What if we threatened that way? I can negate by doing this. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that negates the zone of control. And then I can move this dude. Let me check that before I go doing this and screwing this up entirely. We're just making sure that as we play this relatively simple game, that we don't mess up zone of control negation, because you can negate for movement, but not for supply, I believe. Friendly unit in hex containing enemies under control does negate these for supply. It does not for movement. Okay, well that solves that problem then. I can't do that. Put this little bastard back here. I can't attack out. They're going to get attacked next turn. The Dust Right cannot fall so hideously. We have to threaten something. Or give them another juicy target. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put this dude here. Let's put this dude 1, 2 to here. 1, 2 to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that way I can press up here and potentially attack there next turn. Not that I would I? Or I can attack here. That's what I could do. So that helps there. Okay. These guys are particularly useless. 1, 2. We need to stop any rearguard action. 1, 2 there. Kharkov is here. In case you're wondering, we're playing in 19. Oh, hey, later, dude. Oh yeah, did they get into that conversation pretty hard? Intellectualizing. There we go. 1. I'm going to sit tight. Oh, I'm not moving those guys. I'm moving the Germans. What am I doing? 1. I need to extricate myself out of this, but not too quickly. I think I can hold here now. I'm feeling okay about this, and I think we might have an opportunity to counterattack. I'm going to bring a big gun to this party somewhere. There's no town there. They'll try and go around. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3 to there. Let's pop this guy in here. Actually, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. 1, 2, 3 to there. I'm very tempted to attack across this river in the snow next turn. Yeah, you can rewind it later, man. And here's the thing, Michael. The system real quickly, because I'm actually done. I'm not going to move anything else, and all the other stuff is kind of miles out of range. Here's what happens with the system real quickly, is you have these the Soviets have fronts, and each side has these command points, and you roll up the number of command points. You spend command points to get activity points, and then in these 4 phases here, you spend activity points to move and attack, or attack and move, and then the last 2 phases you can only move your forces. You can't move and attack. I believe that's correct. Yes, you can either move or fight. You can't do both. So that's kind of the gist of it right there, and everything else is pretty straightforward. It's all just movement, which is standard, and the EZOX, which is standard, and combat, which is standard, except that you have these combat chits that allow you to, depending on your tactical rating for these guys, so here the tactical rating of 2, which would equal sucking, or 4 or 5, which is better, whoever wins gets to use, whoever has the best tactical rating uses 3 tactical chits, and the loser of the ratings war gets 1 tactical chit, and that can make a significant difference in terms of DRMs that go on for the battle. So that's basically the game. There is a very interesting admin move game thing subsystem that goes on here, and we're not into that yet, but that is where you can literally kind of pounce and place forces into the battlefield, the battle space, and that could very well I can see how that could make a big difference. And there's this concept over here of the rochade, which gives you it's something that happens at about the 7th turn. And it gives the Germans a boost in terms of the formations and units they're allowed to move for 1 turn. So I guess it's the big counter thrust that Manstein executed on. All right, that's the end of turn 1, fellas. We're done. I'm going to do the victory check. No one won. And now we're on to game turn 2. And I think that's probably a great place to stop it because I think I've lost my voice doing this live stuff. All right, talk to you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed it.